When Haiti was shaken apart by a massive earthquake in January of 2010, the small country was thrust into the spotlight for a brief period, bringing aid in from all over the world. The relief effort was massive and the disaster's aftermath treated, but the underlying issue that has always been Haiti's handicap still remains. It is still the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. Its people still have little or no access to decent health care. Modern conveniences and essentials like clean water and electricity are lacking. And of course, the people are in need of hearing the gospel of Christ. In the northwestern region of Haiti, a family of missionaries called the True Loves have been doing their part to address this issue since 1985. This small village in Haiti has been given to them by God to care for. With their faith in God keeping them going, this village will stay under their charge for as long as the Lord wills it, whether it's bringing light to a dark place or treating a sick mother and her child. This is Nan Sentrain.
The Lord laid it on my heart long ago that if it was His work, then He would prosper it in His way. It may not be our way, but it's His way. And so that's what we've relied on for almost 30 years.
You know, an old missionary told me one time, he'd been a missionary for 50 years in Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti. And he said, Carol Ann, you know, you can be geographically in God's will. You can be where He wants you, that's Haiti. But are you doing it the way He wants you to do it? That's another important aspect of missionary work. Are we doing it His way? Or have we adapted a way that's our way and we think this is the right way and so therefore we're okay, you know? So I think the most important thing is doing it His way.
The True Love's primary effort in Nan Sentrain is Faith Medical Clinic at the epicenter of town. Pregnant mothers will ride motorcycles or even just walk for miles to get prenatal care here. The locals get vaccines at the clinic when they are available, or consultation and treatment options for more serious diseases like HIV and tuberculosis. And when there's a serious medical emergency in the area, Faith Medical Clinic is pretty much the only place to go.
For the most part, we are basically the first responders, so to speak, except for the people actually come to us. We don't have ambulances on the way. We don't have 911. We don't have that luxury. So your typical course of events for somebody who needs help will come on a stretcher. They can go up to an hour of walking in any direction before they get to a facility that will give them like first aid. So, and we consider ourselves more of a first aid clinic because of the limited capacity that we have. In reality, our clinic it's a walk-in and walk-out type of clinic. Now, for the most part, we can handle the 80 to 90% of the people who come in. We can treat and take care of them. Well, you get some special cases that's like you got to refer because we have no capability. We can't do it.
We had a lady that had eclampsia. She was seizuring. I had to call Port-au-Prince and find out, what am I supposed to do when I don't have what I'm supposed to have available? And the doctor said, well, you do this, do this, do this. And I felt so much better. I knew what to do, but I needed to be told because I'm not supposed to be taking care of that patient. I mean, that's beyond my job description. Not in the sense of I think I'm too good to do it, but simply the fact that she needed a doctor, not a nurse midwife, although I knew what to do for her. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do what you told me. But that lady, when she left here, was comatose. And I prayed for her all night long. And you know, the next morning she woke up and talked normally. That's God. He's good.
In this small village of Nan Sentrain, the True Loves have followed their God-given calling to help the people of northwestern Haiti by providing care and treatment to pregnant mothers and sick patients in the region. Carol Ann Truelove, the head nurse since 1986, gives us a tour of the clinic and postnatal nutrition center, as well as the newly constructed medical lab.
This is the delivery room. We also do surgery here, but the delivery room is available for the patients to have any time that they come. And we have done something like 600 surgeries, tubal ligations for limiting the number of children people want. This is our pharmacy. The individual medications are prescribed by the nurses, and they're brought here and packaged and given with explanations of how to take the medications. Okay, this is one of our examining rooms where we measure our patients, our pregnant ladies. We also give vaccinations here. This is our waiting room, ladies. Monsieur ça, ses amis nous qui attendent contre de bagaille. They get tired, so they lie down sometimes because they've been here for a long time. And these are the older patients, the ones that have come back again. Est-ce que toutes nos filles fait test la deuxième fois? Ok, merci beaucoup. Miss Yusline, Miss Ivana. Miss Ivana has been working with us for many years and does everything. She's a very good nurse. And Miss Yusline works both with the maternal child health program and the AIDS patients. Yeah, Moon? Okay, this is our consultation room. It's very small, but we have to have a private place for people to be given the results of their tests for AIDS and for syphilis, and we also use it for other things too. I mean, as far as being private, the fan is to keep the circulation of the air because we have TB patients that we don't know are TB patients yet because we haven't checked them out completely. And to protect our nurses, we have this circulation system. Okay, these two beds are used for giving injections so people can lie down and don't faint, pass out, whatever. Pregnant women, when they come in, they may be in early labor. These beds are more comfortable than in the delivery room. And we also, sometimes, one of the nurses, like if I'm the one taking care of the patient, I would sleep in one bed and I'd have my patient in the other one. That way I never leave them. They're always taken care of. And that's just to be on the safe side. So if they have to stay, it's because they have a problem, like bleeding or their blood pressure is high or something like that. But ordinarily, they have their babies and they go home within an hour or 2 hours after they have it. This is where our laboratory is right now. Excuse me. Oh, good time to leave. Geronor, look lively. Okay, Geronor is our cashier. We have not had a cashier, but since he has started working, we have been able to control the income of the clinic a lot better and have more money to function with. Okay, this is the present laboratory, which is very inadequate according to the health department, and that is why we will show you the new one. It's out here. And this is the doctor's exam and consultation room for the AIDS patients, and also we use this for our pregnant women to measure them on the table. Gives more privacy. The health department told us that we will either abide by the norms of the health department or we will have our laboratory closed. It is very important for our, especially for our AIDS patients, to have tests done regularly that show whether their care is efficient for them or whether they need more help or whatever. So we have built or are building a new one, and we can go see that. Because we have a feeding program now that has been long overdue, we needed more security, so we have a guard shack that we are building or have built, and it's very simple, and we don't want to make them too comfortable because we want them to stay alert and work. This is called the prélèvement room, where we actually take the blood test. The nurses that are responsible wanted to have plenty of air. This is the main part of the laboratory. It will have tables where the nurses or the lab techs can sit. It's also required by law to have the TB room separate completely separate from any of the other buildings. So if you look up here, you will see that it's totally sealed off. We also have the windows here that are provided a lot of light and cross ventilation for the nurse that is taking care of the TB patient. One thing, we have over 200 patients that are HIV positive. That means that they have AIDS. And TB is one of the major causes of death for the patient. So that is why it's very important that we have this available. We do test on anybody who has a cough more than 3 weeks, and anybody who has AIDS. Every AIDS patient is tested for TB, and we have people that are referred to us from other places. One of the reasons why we need this this laboratory open is because we need to do those tests. She has to do the test outside. She has to do it out in the open so that, because she doesn't have she's not protected where she is, from getting it herself. This nutrition center is a place where mothers can come with their children and stay with them. And we have an agent santé, a community health agent, who has had special training to take care of these children and mothers. And he evaluates their progress as far as gaining weight, and if they're swollen with kwashiorkor, how they lose their weight and then regain good weight. Bonjour. Comment est? Titi, comment ça va? Hein? Ils sont yeux. Ouais, ben moi j'ai premier. Ah, ok. Vai ser bali trop. Bali un petit morceau par des morceaux. Oui. Pour être capable et bien habitué. Oui. Okay. Oui. This baby is malnourished and she has what we call a strawberry tongue from the lack of vitamin B complex. And it also makes her very sensitive to food. And there are 3 rooms in each building, and this one has 3 beds, that has 2, and this has 1. So 6 children and their mothers can be here. Okay, this middle room was built over a period of a long time. It's a place where the mothers can play with the children, they can sit, and they can even wash clothes if they have to, if it's raining. This is for somebody who comes from far, like they walk 3 or 4 hours to get here. And if they're in labor, they can stay here and their family can be with them. Okay, and I'll introduce you to our agent santé. 20 years he's been working here, and he is the one who weighs the children every day, takes their temperatures. Do you have a dossier là?
Oui.
And plots their progress. When they come in, there is the date they enter, what their weight is, and then what their weight should be before they leave. And this is something that is followed until the patient leaves. Ordinarily speaking, if a child is only hungry, starving, in 3 weeks they will regain their normal weight and be able to leave. Unfortunately, there are a lot of other extenuating circumstances, like the home situation. Maybe they just don't have food, but maybe there is some kind of illness, or maybe the baby was born with a birth defect or a lack of something in their system, and it takes them longer than that to get well.
Faith Medical Clinic is unique in that it is not operated strictly as a ministry. Patients are encouraged to pay for their health care whenever they can, although treatment is never denied when a patient has nothing to pay with. The True Loves have learned that giving away handouts all the time simply will not work in a country like Haiti. Only the bare minimum price to cover the cost of treatment is asked for, and they often don't even manage to get that much.
I don't believe in just giving handouts all the time. People need to learn responsibility for their health, just like they learn responsibility for educating their children, for feeding them properly, for whatever.
Over the years, we've seen this happen time and time and time again. Anything you do for them for free, And don't take me wrong, I do it all for free if I knew it was good for them. But it's not. Anything they get done for them for free, for example, given medications and stuff, most of the time they'll throw those meds away and go somewhere where they're going to be charged, because they believe those meds that they're getting charged for are more powerful than the ones that are given to them.
I never want anybody not to come to the clinic with something that's serious because they don't have money. So I said, look, you know, someone will say, well, they could bring a child with burning up with fever. I said, this kid's been sick for several days. Why didn't you come? My husband wasn't home. We'll take care of your kid. We have never turned a kid out because the mother didn't have money. And they usually bring it. They don't always do it, but that's up to God and them. You know, we would like them to all bring it, but it's just not going to happen all the time.
They come from a mindset that anything that is for free isn't worth very much. You understand? They can't imagine anything that's free, and that's why, boy, that's just a revelation the Lord has set in my soul. That is why so many of them have such a hard time accepting Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, is because they can't believe it's for free.
The need for electricity is definitely something that Haiti has always had issues with. And 80% of the people have no means of electricity. No means of providing it, no means of storing it, no means of having a simple light in their house. The idea of Positive Electric is to basically put a light bulb in each house, or every house that we can.
Positive Electric is also a ministry modeled after a business. The organization builds battery boxes from durable and inexpensive materials and ships them from the States to Haiti. From there, they are leased out to families and recharged either by Positive Electric's solar bank or the family's personal solar panel if they own one.
Going back with this idea, I questioned the leadership of the community of Sentrain where I live. It's like, hey, what would you think about this novel idea?
So what we're trying to do is identify those people who have solar panels and have had the boxes previously. We're going to target those to replace the boxes that we previously had in the field, and then add boxes to the homes that actually already have a source of power but no batteries. So that would enable them to be able to charge, have lights and such like that. Yeah, not bad. So basically, before we actually add them to our actual list, we test our panels to make sure they're not going to burn up our systems. So chances are, who knows how many volts are coming out of this thing. But
Let's not just talk about it. Let's talk about, implement this idea of putting a light bulb in each home, so our children don't have to read with candlelight, or read with what they call a lampe tête gouda, which is a candle or a lamp, and it's fueled with kerosene. It hurts your eyes for one thing, and the flickering light has already been proven that it damages your eyesight. So there's a lot of things that can come about having just a decent 12-volt system to allow your kids at least to have some way that they can study, because most of the time the kids are needed elsewhere during the daylight. So you have your kids going to the market, going to the water, making sure that the animals are tended to. So the only time they actually have to study is before they go to school and after they get their chores done, which is typically about sundown. So to avoid your damaging your kids and not allowing them enough time to succeed at their studies, we came up with the idea of Positive Electric.
So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and date the testing that we did, so we know that he's current. and we'll keep testing them on like a 6-month basis. Okay. Typically, when you test these systems, you'll get them anywhere from 18 volts to like 21, 22 volts, and this one was testing right around that like 20, 21 volt measure. So we can only assume that it's working properly. We haven't actually put it on a battery system, so that'll determine later. Watching YouTubes in Haiti. That's what they're doing. They're watching a little video. One more down. Apparently the brother doesn't have the last brother doesn't have a battery, so we'll be able to actually do our job here. So he's Bradley has the solar capabilities, but his battery is not the greatest. So we're gonna have to check it out and see what we can do.
I mean, the need is there. It's always been there. But like resilient people, if you don't have a means to accomplish or to meet the need, then they just do without. So, but now we're wanting them to have that opportunity.
Yeah, the car battery.
The person will receive the box with a contract stating the electricity is theirs, but the box is Positive Electric. That gives Positive Electric the responsibility to make sure that the box is maintained, so they don't have to worry about that. That's one less thing they have to deal with. And so on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, they would come back to the business, have it topped off, and they would go back about the business. Now we're implementing 40 more units that are going in, and we hope and pray that by the end of the year we'll get enough data to allow us to move on to our goal of 100 units by the end of 2015.
Keeping this small clinic and its related projects alive in this humble corner of Haiti has been a monumental task. The True Loves will tell you that it would not be possible without the hand of the Lord providing support and protection, and they aren't ready to rest on their laurels anytime soon. In January of 2015, the clinic finally managed to secure a full-time doctor, but support is still needed to actually pay his full salary. Certain buildings in the area need to be overhauled, and just about every roof needs to be replaced. Pledges are coming in to help with current upkeep and expenses, but it's usually anywhere between $500 and $1,000 short of what it takes to actually run the place, and it's not nearly enough for any future projects the True Loves would like to undertake. For example, Faith Medical Clinic doesn't want seriously ill patients to have to walk to get treatment forever.
I would like to have an ambulance for this area. That's the main thing I'd like to have. For taking patients that are going to die or have a permanent disability or something because they're not getting immediate care.
Meanwhile, Positive Electric isn't planning to stop with just portable battery boxes, but would like to eventually start working towards building a permanent electrical grid for the area. Haiti may have vanished from the world's charitable spotlight, but Haiti's needs and problems haven't vanished. The support you may send will go straight into filling those needs in Nan Sentrain, both for the present and for the future. The True Loves do their best to do God's work here in Haiti, and you can be a part of that.
And the more you can give to the Lord, man, the better you feel. The better He gives, the more joy that you can have. And it's that joy that nobody can understand, but it's there. And I walked outside in the middle of the night many nights, and just looked up to heaven and just said, Lord, help me, but I love this place. I'm sorry. I love this place.
nan ghetto, yeah. Faut vivre dans bambas pour vivre dans tout des poches, oh. Lever demain matin soulever ou droite et gauche, ou décider gâcher avion en parabole, oh. Sous décourager ou envie quitter l'école, c'est bien expérience qui prend le vivre nos sens, Faut vivre à qu'est-ce soit la vie, ça sont dit jeu de patience, jeu de patience, jeu de patience, petit jeu de patience, jeu de patience, faut vous comprendre.